Wednesday, August 7, 2019. Hello, Internet users. Welcome to this other edition of the Press Review on Journal du Cameroun television. We begin in politics with the Guardian Post newspaper, which headlines, "Have Ambazonia fighters scared SDF out of the Northwest region?" The paper further says the SDF has since 2019, when the armed conflict in the Northwest and Southwest regions worsened, moved its NEC meetings, which traditionally hold at Frundi's Tarinkan residence, to Yaoundé and Douala. According to Nga Christian's newspaper, the last SDF public gathering in the Northwest region was its 2018 convention that was staged under tight security for fear of the unknown. You want to know more on this dossier? Go to page 3 of today's edition of the Guardian Post newspaper. Still in politics, let's have a Singang newspaper. The tri-weekly newspaper of Marie-Roberta Lundu has in its drop head, "Cameroonian Embassy in France bars vandals neutralised." Some of the members of this organization were arrested yesterday while launching a protest march at the building hosting Cameroon's diplomatic mission in France. Get more on this news from a Singang's viewpoint on page 3 of its edition of today, Wednesday, August 7, 2019. We move on with the national bilingual daily newspaper Cameroon Tribune, which headlines, "Hate speech in the media. Musonge Commission begins the fight." In order to preserve unity and territorial integrity of Cameroon, the National Commission for the Promotion of Bilingualism and Multiculturalism launches a campaign to sensitize the public on the dangers and effects of hate speech in the society. More details on pages 4 and 5. Still with Cameroon Tribune, let's have this other news on violent extremism. As the paper says, Central African officials meet in Yaoundé. According to Cameroon Tribune, efforts to tackle the growing phenomenon in the sub-region have intensified with intelligence gathering, diplomatic and civil society actors reflecting on ways to stop this threat. The officials from the economic community of Central African states started meeting in Yaoundé yesterday, August 6, 2019. Let's talk economy with Diapason newspaper, which headlines, "CEMAC, profound changes in the financial system." The paper proceeds by saying that credit institutions, financial administrations, as well as the different regulators of the financial system are called upon to be equipped in the management of financial risk. The paper adds that in the context of evolution towards international standards, the Bank of Central African States has announced other dispositions as from next year. Details on page 5. Let's end this press review in society with this news on the publication of the list of the Ezeka train victims as Informateur headlines, "Ezeka train accident, controversy around the number of victims." According to this daily newspaper, the figures given by the Minister of Transport at the National Assembly on the victims are contradictory to those announced by the Prime Minister, Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Diongouti. You want to know more on this news according to Info Matin? Go to page 9 of today's edition. Dear Internet users, that was the package we had for you today. If you want to have the details of every headline proposed to you by Journal du Cameroun today, go to the newsstand and get your copy, and see you next time with another interesting reading.